Hi everyone, and welcome back to our second episode of our Blackmagic Masterclass series. In the last episode, we went through all of the little bits that we need to build our camera rig and what you might need on a shoot. So today we are actually going to build the camera rig itself. In terms of cage systems, we've got the Kondor Blue one, and it comes in two parts for the main cage for the body. You've got your front piece and your rear piece. We're going to put the front piece on first. Right, so our camera is now in its Kondor Blue cage. So the next bit is to put handles on and the V-lock plate and plug all of the accessories, kind of those sorts of bits in. We're going to start with our top handle, so it's this guy. It is really nice because all you've got to do is slide it onto the NATO rails at the top and rear. So with the top handle, what I've just found there is you either need to take these 50mm rod inserts that are at the back, which hold your V-mount plate. You either need to take them off, or you can adjust this rear end of the handle itself to basically move across this NATO rail here. Now it's time for our V-mount plate. I always go, it's good to build like your body first, or building the body out slightly, just then you can make sure that A, the camera's got power, and B, everything is nice and secure before you start putting monitors and stuff on, because the last thing you want is you put a monitor on, the weight's there, and all of a sudden the cage falls apart, which isn't really very sensible. Here we have our V-mount plate, so we're just going to slide it onto the 15mm rods. So we've now got our V-mount plate on at the back of the camera. We're just going to make sure that that's nice and tight there so it doesn't move around too much. So now next is the power from our V-lock to the camera. We're going to use this little guy. This is your D-tap cable to your 2-pin lemur, which is what powers the camera. So I'm going to plug that into the top here, into this port. I'm going to try and like just neatly kind of run it through, sometimes go over the top and around or wherever's easier. It's also good to always have cable ties so then you can secure things nicely and neatly. So now we've got the V-mount plate running to our camera. We also have our D-tap extension, so we'll run this from our V-mount plate too. This means that we can power other accessories, so anything from our monitor to say a wireless follow focus, a wireless transmitter, stuff like that, we can all power via this guy. So now we're going to take our magic arm and we're going to put it to our handle. Some people might go from the side and stuff like that. I'm going to come out of the left side here, so it's still in kind of like more of an operator's setup, so it's slightly offset, but it just means that because it's on a magic arm, I can move it wherever it needs to be and make sure that it works properly for me as well. So just going to screw this in here. Make sure it's nice and tight. Luckily, it's got these ARRI locking pins as well, which means that it keeps it nice and secure and stops things like from unscrewing. Now we're going to take our Shogun Ultra. So screw our monitor in, make sure that's all nice and tight. And we're just going to level it out and make sure it's kind of like more centered. Help with gravity and weight, and obviously keeping everything balanced. Then we're going to take our dummy battery. It just means that you don't have to keep changing loads of batteries. Like obviously lots of people are used to like constantly swinging MPF batteries as well. And it just takes that kind of hassle away from you. Keeps it all to one. And it just means that your V-mounts are taking them out, like the brunt work really. And you can monitor it all, so you just know it's just one thing that you have to change. Now it's time to add power. First things first, our SDI cable is not plugged in, but everything else is. So we're going to take our battery, and now all we need to do is turn the camera on. So let's switch it to on, and then we should see very quickly the fan's already going and the monitor should come on just like that. Now let's make sure that the monitor works. So we're going to hold the power option here. And that's all working, green lights come on, and we should be able to see an image shortly. So in terms of SDI protocol, obviously what I've done now is I've turned both accessories on. The next thing you can now do is attach the SDI. So we're gonna go SDI into the Shogun, then we're gonna run to our out port on the Pyxis, just finding it there, plugging it in, and just like that, we have an image coming through. Obviously, it's still got the body cap on, so we do need a lens. Right, let's put our lens on. So we're gonna take our L to PL adapter. This now allows us to use PL lenses. PL stands for positive lock, which basically just means that it has a more secure holding of your lens. So we're gonna take our XEEN 24mm, open it up, take that there. Then we're gonna release our lens cap or body cap here, put that to the side. We'll then take our XEEN CF 24. We're gonna make sure that the writing's at the top because that always means that's the top of the lens. And then we're just gonna hopefully slide it in and it should just go like that. Nice and easy. You might need a little bit of a wiggle just to make sure it lines up with the pins. There we go, we're in. And then we just lock it in place. And just like that, we've now got a lens on our camera. So the final bits now is to put our matte box on and any other kind of accessories we want. I'm literally going to put the matte box on and add filtration, and then we are done. So the matte box will simply just slide onto the end of the lens, just making sure it's nice and snug on the front. Screw it all back in so it's nice and tight. And then when you're putting filters in, you just need to be really careful. So we're using this quarter opaline diffusion one, very similar to a pearlescent filter. And we just take one of our filter trays here, pull it out, pull up on the filter release, then we just need to drop the filter in. Being really careful because it's all glass, so you don't want to scratch anything. Keep your fingers also away from it so you don't leave any smudges. We place that into the bottom, we pull up on our filter release tab, drop it in, place it in like that. Now it's ready to go back in the matte box. Slide that in nice and carefully, and it should just click in when we go in, just like that. Sorted. So now we've got our filter in there. So that is our handheld rig built out to normally how I'd use it. We also have the option of using these handles too, so you can place them at different points. That would give you more of like a shoulder rig kind of effect, or you can take them off and just use them as side handles. It's similar to how you'd hold like a mirrorless camera, for instance. But we do also have our shoulder rig, which we'll be using as well. Because of how the Pyxis is designed, you can clearly see that there's no one way to use it. You can strip it all back and be really compact and shoot just like that, or you can rig it up and have a massive rig that can work for you in whichever fashion you wish for it to do so. And that's lovely. It's great to have something with dexterity and be able to merge between different things. And it's also great to know, as obviously I'm a Pyxis user myself, that I can take it as far as this, or I can slim it all back and have something that's compact and maybe I want to travel with or go and shoot docu work with. Now, if you do have any other questions about the Pyxis 12K, please put that in the description below and I will make sure to get back to you and we can have a conversation all about it. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Join us in the next one where I'm going to A, be filming, and B, teach you how to conduct a great interview for your story. See you in the next one.